we are hearing that Romelu Lukaku won't come to training. Once his deal done, before, and I say deal done, he wants his Inter Milan Chelsea deal sorted before the start of the season. He doesn't want to come back for pre-season.
Yeah, but that's because he knows that he is persona non grata at Chelsea. He can't play for Chelsea again. It would be too embarrassing for him to run out of Stamford Bridge. He would be booed. He is entirely, universally disliked at Stamford Bridge. He made it impossible for him to play for Chelsea again. The way that he treated the club, the way that he treated his teammates, the way that he treated the fans, and his performances, by the way. Since then, since he launched a grenade into his Chelsea career and flew over to Italy to conduct that unsanctioned interview with Sky Italia, since he did that and blew up his Chelsea career, think about the performances that we've seen from him at the top level. He was almost solely responsible for Belgium capitulating in the World Cup. That game against Croatia was comical. He was so bad. He was the architect of that golden generation of Belgium's downfall. He had chance after chance after chance, and he made a pig's ear of everyone. Then, just a few months ago, we watched him play in the Champions League final. Cleared one off the line for his team. Like he is no longer good enough to play for Chelsea.
A couple of weeks ago. It doesn't feel like that long ago, was it? It wasn't that long ago at all. Romelu Lukaku won't put on a Chelsea shirt again. I'll be very, very surprised. And we just wait to see what deal Inter Milan can put together so that Chelsea will accept. Remember, Chelsea spent a lot of money. Was it 100 million quid?
97.
97? What's 3 million between friends, eh? 100 million quid on Romelu Lukaku, and you're going to get back 30, 40?
I think it's the worst signing in Premier League history, isn't it, Romelu Lukaku?
Paul Pogba.
No way.
Paul Pogba's return, 89. You had a player, you let him go for free, and you had to spend another 80 plus million getting him back. You had him. You let him go for free. Think about that. You had him, you let him go for free, and you then had to spend 80 plus million getting him back.
You're totally incorrect here, Oladipo. You're totally incorrect. The worst signing in Premier League history, if you factor everything into the equation, is Romelu Lukaku to Stamford Bridge for £97 million. He arrived to the team that were European champions, to huge fanfare. He was going to be the difference between Chelsea being also rans in the league and genuine title contenders.
I said it, I sold him.
Within 3 months, he had ended it all. Within 3 months, he had launched a grenade into his Chelsea career. He had flown over to Italy, conducted this interview that was so distressing to his team, so demoralising to his teammates, so embarrassing to the fans who were chanting his name. The team that were paying his wages, Abramovich, Grunskavaya, they must have felt so betrayed by this.
Almost cheated.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. That was the end of his Chelsea career. That was the beginning of the end. There isn't a worse signing in Premier League history than Romelu Lukaku to Chelsea, if you factor everything into the equation. It was over within 3 months.
I'm sure I can think of one, but for the money, you probably are correct. Shout out to the Beautiful Game podcast guys as well, by the way, doing an amazing job. They had Nigel James on there, Reece James's dad, who was waxing lyrical and talking up the idea.
Who's taking up for Lukaku?
Oh, sorry.
Honestly,
Here he is, Mr. Cundy.
Honestly, he's still a Chelsea post.
We need that. When he came through the door, we need that kind of music, like Stone Cold music there, just smashing through the door.
I love it.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
Anything I've said incorrectly?
Do you know what? I've heard bits and pieces. It's hard to disagree. Look, it's the price tag. Everything's about the price. It's all Morata.
Jesse J.
Morata, honestly. But Lukaku's Chelsea's.
He's right. Morata.
No, but Morata was a terrible player. Morata, Timo Werner, they would say that it didn't work. But what Romelu Lukaku did was actually a bigger sin, in my opinion. He actually chose, like Alvaro Morata didn't choose to miss all those chances at the Emirates. That game against Arsenal when he went through on goal time and time again and missed them all. Timo Werner, I've never seen anyone miss more sitters. Look, there are some terrible players.
I'm just throwing
there are some terrible players.
Chris
Sutton. There are some terrible players.
Do you want to leave the room now and just more in on
we talk about terrible Chelsea
players? We sob over about £1 billion of players that just turned up.
But Romelu Lukaku was different because he chose to end it. He chose to blow up the.
I mean, there was a lot wrong at the club at the time, and there still is, in all honesty. But yeah, he played the narrative. I think he read where to. I just think he knew he didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
I'm going to get out clause. I think most players. So any player that's worth X amount of pounds, I think they could make their way out of a contract at any time if they do what he did, go at the press, do an interview, do what he does.
It's interesting you say that because there has been, like, obviously I got a lot of stick from Newcastle fans saying I don't think Tonali desperately wants to be at Newcastle, but AC Milan sold him and he's got to go. Is there an instance where players can force their way out of these big deals like Lukaku did and just almost say, you know what, don't want to play, not playing, refusing to play? Not saying Tonali would do that. I don't think he will. I think it's going to be a fantastic signing. But we are seeing players being sold to clubs and almost you have to go, as opposed to the players wanting to go. Here's
the question. 2 years ago, would Tonali have gone to Newcastle?
No.
But
they're a different club now, aren't they? They're a different proposition. They're in the Champions League.
Of course they are, and they're now an attractive club to go to. I think we have to accept that. Chelsea under Roman, Rory and I will remember that period when he came in, and we signed players almost on a daily basis.
Yeah. Veron and
honestly,
Joe Cole.
It was insane what was going on at the club.
Yeah,
but we were at that time Champions League semi-finalists, second in the league.
There you go.
So we were a slightly more club. But let's be honest,
you'd won a couple of FA Cups in the lead up to it as well.
Yeah, but Newcastle are a club that are going. You can see where they're going. The trajectory of that football club. You can see where they want to be in the next 3, 4, 5 years. They'll have a plan, right? Actually, it's a great club to join right now. For someone like tonight, it's a great club. There'll be other. I don't think they paid a lot of money for him either.
Was it 70 million odd?
So that much? What, euros or pounds?
Pounds.
I thought
Was it the most expensive Italian, wasn't it? Was it 70 million euros or pounds? The most expensive Italian signing ever.
I thought it was less than that.
No, they've gone big. Even if it's 70 million euros, what's that, 55, 60? What was it, Rory? Rory. My assistant here, Rory's bringing out his laptop.
You're the transfer insiders. I'm just an idiot that comes on does a
70
shot.
million euros.
It was. I think it was a bit cheaper, Ad.
70 million euros. 70 million euros.
Cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah, 70 million, still a lot of money. 70 million euros.
It's a lot of money. It's the most expensive Italian ever, but it's also a bargain for a player of that quality.
Sorry, the most expensive Italian ever in football's history.
Yeah, I think Jorginho was the record.
Right. Okay.
Jorginho was the record, and that's been broken by Tonali.
Right. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
All right, what you got coming on your show?
We are.
That's what you're in here for, you know. You just walks in to have a little chit chat with us. And
but this is the best part of the show.